Hello friends, this is the Leapmotor C10. So the C10 is not actually new to the Malaysian markets as it was launched in October 2024. However, we're finally able to give you guys a comprehensive walk around of the car as well as show you guys the performance and handling of the C10 on Genting roads as done by Uncle in a separate video. So do check it out as well. So I think one word that really fits and describes the C10 really well is the word minimalistic, because that is the entirety of the style of the exterior as well as the interior of the car, which I think is something definitely different. However, that's what the C10 is striving for, minimalism. So nothing too fancy, just a nice compact car that you're able to use, drive and get to point A to point B safely. So the C10 is a 5-seater electric SUV in the C segment class. The range based on WLTP standards is 424 kilometers. However, give or take minus about 10 to 20% of the actual number for the approximate range. And of course, it depends how much you push the car and the electric motor itself. The range will be affected by that. So do take that in mind. So the C10 is priced at 159,000 ringgit. However, there are currently rebates going on for the C10. So do stick around or contact us in the number below for more information about the C10 if you are interested. The C10 is also able to produce 214 horsepower and 320 Newton meters of torque. It has the ability to go from 0 to 100 in 7.5 seconds. The top speed of the C10 is limited to 170 kilometers on the road, and the battery capacity for the C10 is 69.9 kilowatt hours. So quickly go over the front segment of the car. I think, again, just to reiterate, minimalism is the go-to factor for the C10. Nothing too fancy, just simple, nice, and all you need in a car to get you from A to B. So anyways, it's got the LED daytime running lights and it is automatic as well. We've got a nice sensor in the front here and it does make it look really nice and sleek as well. So we've also got a camera right here at the front for any safety hazards as well as the parking conditions, and also it's got a nice cooling grille at the bottom right here. Other than that, I think the C10 looks really nice and it's got the Leapmotor logo in front here as well. Now let's move to the side of the car and I'll talk to you guys about the dimensions as well as the brakes, suspensions and so on. So here are the dimensions of the C10. The length is 4739 mm, the width is 1900 mm, height is 1680 mm with a wheelbase of 2825, making it comfortably in the C segment class of SUV. Okay, so this is the side profile of the C10. Now, for the wheels for both the front and rear, they are 20-inch. And one special feature about the C10 is that the suspension system was actually tuned by Maserati engineers themselves. So for the front suspension, the C10 uses McPherson struts, and for the rear, they have a multi-link independent suspension. Now, brakes for both the front and rear are ventilated. So yeah, again, just to reiterate that the C10 is an electric SUV, so charging is mandatory. So over at the back here, we have the charging port and it does support AC and DC charging. And again, for the range, it is 424 kilometers based on WLTP standards. Depending on how much you push the car or how much you don't push the car, the range varies accordingly. So for the AC charging, it is able to support up to 6.6 kilowatts and it charges from 0 to 100% in about 6 hours according to Leapmotor. And for the DC charging, it is able to take up to 84 kilowatts and is able to charge from 30 to 80% in just about 30 minutes. And also, they are able to support V2L. So yeah, additional plus point for the C10. Okay, so now we're at the back of the C10. And again, just to reiterate my point, minimalism is the go-to for the C10 right here. It's got a really nice tail light that goes across the entirety of the back right here. We have our brake light at the top and the Leapmotor wording right here. So how do we open the boot? There's actually a small little button right here that we can just press and it will automatically open the boot right there. Ta-da! So this is the boot of the C10. Now with the seats folded up, we have a boot capacity of 435 liters. And looking at the inside compartments right here, we actually have extra storage that we can put stuff. So for the first compartment that we open up closest to the rear, we have a small drop that we can put bigger items or deeper items if we need to. It also comes with tire inflator kit right here. No spare tire, just want to let everyone know. and we have other tools and a high flow vest jacket as well. And there is another smaller compartment that we can put things on the left side of the trunk. There is another compartment slightly deeper in from the first compartment. Here is where we find our charging cables for the AC. So it's just one whole part connected, but we are able to split up the components just like that. It does go quite deep. So again, it's 435 liters big with the seats folded up. However, it is a bit lower at the top here, so you are not able to put any taller items if you need in this way. However, because this is an SUV with the rear seats folded down, if you need more storage space and you need to carry bigger items, you are able to get up to 1,410 liters of space. That's pretty big because there's actually a lot of space in the back seat right here. With the seats folded down, you have no worries about carrying all your IKEA furniture. So now we're on the inside of the C10. Overall impressions, again, as I said at the start of the video, very minimalistic. Everything looks clean, fresh. It is all in dual tone, so the bottom half of the cabin is all in black and the top half of the cabin is a lighter cream colored shade. Overall, the visibility also looks great. We have a really big and wide window at the front. We have on the side windows, we also have a lot of room from the main window itself, as well as it has a little quarter window for any blind spots. Okay, so let's move on to the main parts of the car. So for the infotainment screen, it is a 14.6-inch infotainment cluster right here. So over on this screen, we're able to pretty much do every single thing on the car. Car settings, seat settings, audio settings, infotainments, calls, etc. Aircon settings even, so everything is done on the infotainment screen right here. Now, one small downside that the car doesn't have is that it does not have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity. However, I was told by Leapmotor themselves that in the future, they will be doing a software update to be able to implement these things. So we'll just have to wait and see from their end. Now, for the digital instrument cluster in the driver segment right here, it is a 10.25-inch screen. So over here, we're able to see our speed, our battery usage, how much range we have left and all that. And we're also able to see the regeneration of the battery on braking, as well as the battery usage on accelerating. So all of the information is right there and we can toggle through. So one unique thing about the C10 is that it actually does not have a start-stop button or any form of key ignition. All you need to do is take the NFC card, or you're able to unlock your car and start your car via your smartphone. So there is an NFC reader on the right side mirror. All you need to do is tap it and the car will automatically unlock and start everything on the tab. Now for the aircon, it actually has a dual climate aircon. So we're able to adjust the front as well as the rear aircon. The rear passengers do not actually have the ability to adjust it themselves from the back, but we are able to adjust everything through the front screen right here. Okay, so moving on to the seats. The seats are made of some sort of leather or leather material. We're able to adjust the seat via electronic adjustment for the front passenger as well as the front driver seats. So the seats also are able to provide heating on a cooler day or a rainy day, or ventilated seats on a hot Malaysian day like usual, like what we usually need. So I think that's a great feature to have in the C10. Over to the steering wheel, we actually have a slightly flat top and flat bottom steering wheel. That actually gives you a bit more comfort and ergonomics when you're using the steering wheel. Now, the steering wheel is also wrapped in a leather material, and over here we're able to adjust a few things. We have two scroll knobs right here, basically allowing us to toggle between our media settings and our volumes. We have a press to talk button right here to give commands to the C10, and we are able to toggle to the screen right here, and we also are able to lock the car with the button on the steering wheel. If you notice, there is actually nothing in the center console. There is no gear lever, there is no parking brake. All of that is on the gear lever on the right side of the steering wheel. Now, the car doesn't have an electronic parking brake or a parking brake. All of it is done upon pressing the park button right here. And on the left side lever, we have multiple functions. It is the turn indicator for left and right, as well as our wiper functions and our light functions as well on the front and rear of the car. But usually most of that is set to activate automatically, so we do not have to think too much. And for the wipers as well, it has rain detection. We also have another nifty feature in the C10. We actually have a sunroof. Now, the glass portion of the sunroof is not able to open itself. However, we have an electronic switch over here that we're able to retract the shade over or back, depending on our usage. So if you need an extra bit of sunlight, or if you're feeling that it's a nice cooling day, feel free to open the sunroof to your desire. Also, there's another button right here that allows us to fold in our side mirrors. Also, for you audio heads out there, the C10 does come with 10 speakers located throughout the car. Safety is a really important thing. Let us talk about the safety features that the C10 does have. For the airbags, there are 7 airbags located throughout the entirety of the car, from the front, back, side, as well as the curtain portions of the vehicle. For the ADAS, it is actually a level 2 ADAS and it comes with about 16 to 17 features. Here are some, but not limited to the ACC, the lane centering, traffic jam assist, lane keep assist, AEB, forward collision warning, and so on and so forth. Now, other features that we do have in the car as well, as there is a little sensor right here for the driver drowsiness or monitoring system, and we are able to have the blind spot warning on the side mirrors also. And in terms of the camera, for additional safety, it does come with a 360-degree camera for both parking as well as just checking your surroundings if you need. Okay, so now we're on the back of the C10. Now, the one biggest thing that I really want to talk about right now is the amount of legroom that the car actually has. Now, the driver's seat is adjusted again to my position, and yeah, look at the amount of legroom that I have. Very comfortable for me to enjoy and relax at the back of the C10. Now, there is no adjustment or reclinability for the rear seats. Now, in terms of headroom, there is actually quite a bit of headroom, especially with the sunshade retracted to the back. There is actually extra room. Another great feature that the C10 has is actually the center part of the seat is actually flat. That gives the third passenger, if you are carrying a third passenger, more comfort for them to relax their legs. If you're not, we also have the armrest at the center right here. So this is just an armrest. There is nothing special about it, and it is also made of leather. Back seats are the same material as the front seats as well. So it's just for you to relax your arm and everything. If you want your cup holders, they are again located at the front here. Behind the front driver as well as the front passenger, there is a small compartment for the rear passengers to put something inside right here. For the headrest, they are all mechanically adjustable. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the rear of the C10. Nothing too special, but it does the job as it needs to. Again, minimalistic, it gets you from A to B, and that is all the C10 intends to do. So yeah, that's the rear of the C10. Let's go to the front of the car just to do a bit of a quick recap. And that's pretty much it for our walk around. Okay, so that's pretty much it for our walk around of the C10 from Leapmotor. So again, if you guys are interested in the car, please feel free to let us know in the comments below, or contact us at the number right here or in the description if you want to find out more about the C10. Anyways, if you like the video, please feel free to leave us a like. If you find the video helpful in any way, please feel free to share it with your friends. Subscribe or follow the page if you haven't already. And don't forget to check out the second video with Uncle, where he takes up the C10 to check out the handling as well as the performance of the C10. Again, I've been Shun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.